Hello, my friends. It's Margot, and happy Wednesday to all of you. It's Wednesday's video. So if you know, you know. We're going to be a little unhinged today, more so than usual. Okay, so I mentioned these in a previous video that I was on Facebook and this ad popped up for FUUMUUI Watercolors. I think that's how you say it. And normally when I see ads, I just scroll right through and I'm so pretentious about it. I'm like, your marketing won't work on me. Well, this time it did because I'm like, ooh, they're opaque watercolors. So that means in theory, they should be a little more colorful, a little more saturated, and not so translucent like traditional watercolor. And that's something that's very attractive to me. So today I thought we could swatch a couple of these out, or all of them, we'll see how it goes. And then I want to paint with them on a bunch of different surfaces. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got coffee paper, I've got tissue paper, I've got painted tissue paper, coffee filters, wax paper, all kinds of stuff. So let's just see how they go. And then hopefully it's good, because I don't want to ever trash talk another small business, and hopefully they're good. I have high hopes for these because the reviews said these were fantastic. So this is what it looks like. Here, can you see? Yes, okay. It comes with this really cool color chart. I haven't seen any other watercolor brands do that. So you can kind of get a feel for what the tones are going to look like. Honestly, it looks exactly the same, except this one's a little different. So that's cool. Normally the watercolor companies make you like swatch out all of the colors on their own little piece of watercolor paper. And that's fine. Ooh, this brush is still dirty. Margot, come on. But yeah, let's go in and swatch a few of these just on traditional watercolor. Here, let me move this over so you can see. Well, let's go ahead, of course, and start with the pink. Right off the bat, this feels nice and, oh, yes, this feels thicker than most of the traditional watercolors that I use. Look at that. Okay, okay, let's go in with a little bit more pigment. Yes, okay, you know what? This is almost feeling like gouache, like a step down from gouache. Now, if you're a traditional watercolorist, you're probably screaming at me right now. This is not the way that I guess you traditionally swatch watercolors, but I don't really traditionally use watercolors unless I'm doing illustrations for my business. I like to layer them. I like to make them thick. I like to make them goopy and run. So that's why I'm kind of going in like this, super thick. Let's try, I need some more water on that. Let's try this teal, because pink and blue, you know, that's my favorite. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. It's like soft, but it's got a kick to it. Can you see? Look, let's go in with the darker. Okay. Okay. So far I'm impressed. So far I'm impressed. Let's try a yellow and see how we like that. This is the Hamasa Yellow Medium. Here, can you still see? I know it's kind of off to the side. That's nice too. Don't even tell me that I just found a new set of watercolors that are my favorite. I have been using Daniel Smith watercolors for years. Like, that's always been my go-to. And they're not super cheap. Like, they're artist grade, they're professional grade. But these are, they're kind of giving them a run for their money. Let's do purple. These are nice, you guys. I am so relieved. I was so afraid I was going to start this video and be disappointed and then try to like cover my tracks. Because like I said, I don't want to be negative. Like, I don't want to trash talk a company. And the other thing too, oh, look at that, you guys. Oh, is that showing up here? I'll hold it up. Oh, look. Can you see how saturated that is? That is stunning. Okay, wow. What was I saying? The other thing is I don't want to be an influencer, and it's not lost on me. You know, I'm making content, that's going to happen. But the last thing I want to be is like a traditional influencer where my whole thing is to get you to buy things. I prefer to like inspire you to use stuff around your house, use the supplies that you already have. But that being said, it is fun to try out new supplies, and I do want to try new things that I think might inspire all of you and that I think you guys might enjoy using as well. This is really cool. I'm just going to do a couple more, and then we're going to get down and dirty with using other surfaces. Let's do a neutral. Let's do the brown. That's pretty. It's not really brown. It's more of a yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. That's pretty. That's going to be a nice fall tone. I can see me using that for sunflowers, for wheat. That's pretty. Let's do, which one? Let's do this kind of like periwinkle lavender color. Oh, stop. No, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay. I am so happy I clicked on that ad because this has probably been one of the best purchases I've made in a while. And you guys, it wasn't that expensive. Of course, I'm going to link below, and I promise I will link. I know I've been kind of like forgetting to do that on some of my past videos, and thank you for letting me know, because you guys are like, hey, where's that link for that? Where's that for that? So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So I will link these. They are available on Amazon, and they're not that expensive. Oh, look, this is everything, this magenta. Hold on. I hope it's in the frame. Oh, this is jewel tone. This is Y2K Diva bedroom color. Stop. Okay. Yep. And now I'm going to see how these dry too, because there could be a little difference with the drying process. Like they may be not as saturated, but like even just looking at this blue, man, I'm happy. This is a great way to start the day. Okay, so let's start off with, you know what actually I want to start out with is painting on those glassine bags that I found at a store not too long ago. Where are they, Margot? Where did I put them? See, this is why it's important to be organized with your desk. Oh, they're right here. I literally have like glue sticks, tea, paintbrushes, stickers, coffee paper. I have stuff everywhere. Okay. So here, actually, I need to get this. Love to paint on these. Let's do the flat side first. And let's go in, whoops, with, what color shall we do? Let's go in with the green. I'm really into green. Oop, my brush wasn't very clean. That's okay. Here. Stop it. This is taking so well to this glassine paper. It's not losing its color. That's really nice. Let's go in with a pink. Let's do the magenta, actually. Let's see what that looks like on this. Stop. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try to tone it down. Like, it really does not take much to make me happy, you guys. It really doesn't. Make it a little thicker in places. See, even just like this alone is stunning. Like you wouldn't even have to go in and add different colors. You could, and I'm going to do that on this one. Let's do a softer tone, shall we? Let's do that periwinkle. I am obsessed with these, and I hate it when people say they're obsessed with something, but I actually truly am obsessed with these. Now, there was a name for this pack. Like this is a special pack, like the tones, like it was a jewel tone or a primary tone. You know what I mean? I think there was a pastel tone. I don't know. I think there was a metallic. I'll have to go see. Let's try purple on this. Oh, it does bleed. Look at this. It does make little blooms. So I might just go back and help myself to a few more colors of palettes because, yeah, I can already tell you I'm going to use these a lot. I'm going to use these a lot. And something that's really exciting to me is this black. I have always traditionally made my own black watercolor tone. And you'd think it would be easy. I'm sure it is, but I can never get it to be a shade of black where I'm like truly happy. Like, look at the green. It's always like a navy blue or like a icky brown. This is fun. Oh, look. So I love that it came with a nice black tone, and there's a gray there. Almost could go silver. That's neat. That's fantastic. Let's go in with the pink on this. This makes me so happy. This one got a little too dry. That's okay. We can make a pattern. Let's just do a brush pattern. All in the same direction. And see how that dries thick. Like that. Wow. I mean, it is really holding its own there. Can you tell? Look at that. The pink is really still coming through, even though it's on green. All right. All right. I'm selling myself, and I already bought these. I'm influencing myself. Let's do coffee filters next. Let's see how they go on the coffee filters. And I'll use some different colors so you guys don't just have to see me do pink all the time, because I know. It's not lost on me. That pink is the one thing I always grab. The tea is good today. Let's do this blue color here. Can you see this one here? That is a Prussian blue. And now for these, you just go shoosh, shoosh, shoosh. Kind of want to make sure your brush is nice and wet. You guys know I don't use expensive brushes. I just like to use, this is my favorite. I picked this up, I think on our honeymoon in Hawaii at one of those, like, it was kind of a touristy shop. I'm actually not sure why they had paintbrushes in there, but they did. And I wanted to make a journal to document our honeymoon, and I'm like, oh, these are good. I'll just use these brushes. It'll be a good temporary thing. Well, now I use it forever. Let's do this again. Look. And see, I've mentioned this before, but one of the reasons I love painting on these leftover bubble mailers is when you're using a thin material, like a thin paper like this, the bubbles will come through and give you some really cool texture and just gives it some more interest. This is fun. Oh, this is so fun. Let's go in with the darker purple. Let's see how that takes. Let's put some there. I'm making this really thick because I want to see how this performs. Oh, this is beautiful. And I love using these coffee filters as actual pages in my junk journals. Like here, look. Here's one that I'm working on for an enchanted bog. I'll just put it in there like as an actual page. This is, what was this? This is, this feels like wax paper to me. Amazon. Yeah, here's another one. And then so see, once I paint it with the watercolor, I'll let it dry and then I'll kind of crumple it up like this. And then I'll go over it with paint to get even more texture and even more interest on that. See, here it is again. This is more of a neutral one I did. So that's going to be fun to have an option to make these coffee filters a little brighter and a little more opaque. The other fun thing is if you use a mailer that has paint on it, sometimes it'll actually pull the paint up onto the coffee filter or even the tissue paper, and then you get all this kind of cool grungy effects with little leftover paints. That's really fun. I love it when it does that. Okay, so let's set this aside. Actually, I'm just going to leave it on here to dry. See, because you can see the lines in there and the little circles. It'll dry and hold those in place. So that's nice. Let's do this now. Let's try it on coffee paper. I haven't done this in a while. Watercolor on coffee paper. These are new, available in my shop. Did you just see what I almost did? This is, how many of you have done this? I almost put my brush into my tea. I cannot tell you how many times I have actually done that. Like if I had $1 for every time I've done that, I would be richer than Bezos. I kid you not. Now let's do, See, I'm backing out. Okay, let's do a neutral at first. Let's do a neutral. I'm not going in bright yet. Okay, let's go in bright now because you can't tell. Let's do, I'm trying to think what would look good with, let's just do this lavender again. And just paint around. You could paint on top of it too. I mean, it's taken to it. See, I love doing this with the larger patterns of the coffee paper because it just kind of frames the focal point in a soft way. Let's do green. No, let's do this blue. Let's try down here. Kind of have it bleed in here. I think I'm off frame. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't yell at me. That's pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. It really mutes it down because obviously some of the coffee's coming up and I love that. Let's put a little more pigment in down here to surround it. Oh, it's giving twilight with flowers blooming in the summer. There. A little darker there. That's so fun. Okay. Okay. So we'll set that aside and let it dry and see how it does. Here, now just for fun, let's go in with one of the wild new animal print florals I have. And let's do it with purple. Let's go in with purple. Kind of just go around the roses here. Then maybe we want to put in some teal. Let's do this. That's so fun. That's so fun. And so when this dries, it's going to make the coffee paper even more crinkly. And you know how I love that. I love the crinkles. What is that? ASMR? Let's go in with this color down here. See, I just want to paint the whole thing. Woo! Look at that. Woo! That's hot. Paris Hilton, that's hot. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll stop there. But you see, oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can't wait to see how that dries. Man, this is fun. This is a great way to start the day, don't you think? Let's do tissue paper. And we're gonna start with the green. Now, I don't know how this is gonna go. It could bleed with the dye. Already that's in the paper, but we'll see. Maybe that'll create a cool effect. You never know. Pink, baby. Let's go in. Oh, make it a little wetter here. Now, ideally, when you're painting on tissue paper like this, you don't want to use this type of brush. I would prefer to use more of like a fan brush or just something that's a little softer, and always wanting to go in the same direction. I have found that's easier, and then it prevents the paper from tearing and ripping. Okay, this may not be the best judge because now it just looks like something I wiped up on the counter after making a berry smoothie. Hold on. Oh, well, no. Okay, look. Here. I mean, it still looks like it's something that I wiped up off the counter, but you can see like the paint is holding its own right there. Here, the lighting's kind of stupid. Okay, I mean, like I say, they can't all be bangers. We're just playing. We're just trying things. Probably might be better on white tissue paper, which I don't have just plain white, but you know what I do have is the painted tissue paper I did yesterday. And this is acrylic paint. So let's see how it axe with the acrylic paint if it just goes through the spaces that aren't painted, because I just used a really rough sponge paint on this. Let's do yellow, something nice and bright so we can see how it goes. I mean, it's not pulling up the paint because it's acrylic. And this should give, look at this. It's layering on top of the acrylic paint. That is how opaque it is. Ooh, girl. Girl, girl, girl. Man, I really do not need to go buy more art supplies, but this is just making me want to go do that and get the other packs. That's really beautiful. And see, it's hard to tell because it's resting on this surface, but it's like you've got this nice translucent yellow and then the richer colors and texture of the acrylic paint coming out from behind it. Let's do the hot pink. No, because we already did that. Let's do the neon green. Make a decision, Margot. Look. Okay. This is just, I mean, I'm done. I'm sorry. I know you guys are like, shut up. We get it. These are incredible. Hey, if you're still here watching and you're like actually tolerating me nerding out over these art supplies, let me know. Love to see who's with me in the comments. Look at this. Okay, let's let that dry carefully. This is so fun. Let's do one last thing together. One last thing. Do I have any more backgrounds I can use? Let's do this one. And I want to use, let's do the wax paper and see how it goes. Let's do wax paper. And with the wax paper, you can just paint on it like this where it's smooth. I like to go like this, and you can do different like ways to crumple it up to make like spider webs and to make it, you can fold it and have like lines. Sometimes it's just fun to crumple it up like this. And see, look, you have all this cool variation and texture in the paper. Let's go in with the purple because I feel like we don't see purple enough. Now, yes, it's going to ball up because it is wax paper, but it will eventually dry. It will eventually dry. And what I have found is you get this really cool, almost like paint splattery effect. And then what I'll do is go back over this with stencils and acrylic, or you could even go back over this and just splatter it like this with acrylic paint that you've got watered down just a little bit, and then just have this crazy, almost like modern art splatter paint kind of deal going. Do you know what I mean? Like here, we could try. I need to get more water on it. Let's try it again. Yes, like this. See? That's fun. Now this could take a bit to dry because it is wax paper and it is treated, but that's really fun. And see, like if you wanted to do the same, excuse me, the same kind of thing where you crumple up paper to get that texture and then you roll it out like this, you could do this on tissue paper. Actually, you know what? Let's do it on deli paper. Let's see how this goes on deli paper. Because I think I cut some out here for you. This is just deli paper. If you ever get like a sandwich and it's not too mooey and put sauce all over the paper, you can totally save it. Use it in a journal. Use it in a project. Okay, let's see here. Let's do the green again because I have it here. Oh, yep. Okay, see, this is much better. This is much better. See, I was trying to play off like the wax paper was pretty cool, and it is. This is better. Do this instead. Deli paper for the win. Let's get some more pigment. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. And see, I tried to get into using gouache. I did. I've got a huge set of the viral jelly gouache that I was actually influenced to buy. And they're not bad, it's just, it takes a while to get used to. And I'm a creature of habit. And I love watercolor. That's what I was trained on. Well, that's not true. I was actually trained on chalk pastels also. A lot of different things. But this is what I primarily use for doing my illustrations and mixed media art. And the fact that these are behaving kind of like a gouache. Okay, I don't like that color combo, but that's okay. But they're not actually a gouache. You get what I'm saying here. Yeah, that's exciting to me because they're watercolor, but they're not gouache. So here, let's look at how the coffee dyed paper is drying. It's still a little wet. That's pretty. Look at that. Beautiful. Here's the wild one. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And is that all we did? Yes, that's what we did. All right, so how do we do this as an influencer that I'm not an influencer, but I'm acting like one? If I were going to give this a rating, 10 out of 10, I would say, 10 out of 10. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would actually give this like a 9.5 to a 10 because I love how vibrant it is. I love how it's drying, how it's consistently performing across a variety of surfaces. I really think this is a great buy, you guys. And like I said, I'm all about using what we have, but sometimes you got to get tools to use what you have. And I think that this is a very good, reasonably affordable investment that I could see myself using almost every single day. And I think that you guys will get a lot of use out of as well. So yeah, FUUMUUI, fun name, hard to say, good brand. I'm going to go check out some of the other colors they have of these kits and see, I already got it dirty. That's okay. But see what they've got. So yeah, I will link this below. This was fun. I'm glad we got to do this. This is a super chill, probably short video, but very happy we did it. Great way to start the day. All right. If you're still here with me, drop a comment. Love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you next week in the next video. All right. Bye, friends.